All right, let's rock and roll, man. It's that time of the week. We do it every week, man. We give you the picks, which I think is fantastic. Brent Rollins, as always, joining me. And Brent, man, I don't know how you narrow this down, but we had to. We had to narrow it down to not picking 22 games, for gosh sakes, because there's a lot of good ones to pick. Yeah, we could have picked a bunch, but let's start with the nugget platter, man. What's our nugget platter this week?
That would be Indiana at Oregon. College Game Day is heading there, and it is a top 10 matchup. You got the Hoosiers and the Fighting Signettis heading to the Ducks, and it's a great head coaching matchup of guys who believe in their guys and fiery guys. I think I'm looking forward to this game because you also might have, for a lot of those draft nicks out there, QB1 and QB2 in the draft in this game.
Which is crazy because before the season, nobody said that. So it kind of gives you an idea of where, both these teams are at. They don't look the same. They don't play the same. They're both very athletic guys, even though Mendoza's a lot bigger, a lot stronger. But they both are very productive and make plays. And they've both shown a bunch of toughness, which I think is cool. But, total yards per game, Indiana's 5th, Oregon's 9th. Like, points per game, Indiana's 4th, Oregon's 6th. Like, both these teams can absolutely light it up, and they're fun to watch. Fourth time ever that Indiana started 5-0. First time starting 5-0 back to back in the history of their school. So this is Signetti and him being talked about where he's at. There's a reason, man, because this is a 2-year run that they're like, heck yeah, this is amazing. And last year, what's cool about Indiana too. Last year did it with Rourke and his JMU guys, and then this year now he goes and gets Mendoza from Cal, and Mendoza's tied for second in the FBS with 16 touchdowns, and it's the same system. It's good. It's good receivers out wide. It's a system that's always going to be successful because they do a great job with balance. They can run it. They can throw it. Here's my matchup to watch, Brent. The biggest matchup that I think we learned from this game, you got a true freshman corner and a redshirt freshman corner. You got both those guys out there on the edges for Oregon against the explosive passing attack in Indiana, excuse me. Nobody's challenged them. Nobody's given them a problem. Nobody's really even seen. We don't even know if Oregon's really good out there. We just know they're really young. They've played good so far. Indiana and their receivers, man, they are going to challenge them. They're going to throw the ball vertical. I think this will tell us a lot about Oregon's secondary that's extremely young, that's going to get tested this week.
And then on the other side, the secondary, Indiana gets D'Angelo Pons back. He didn't play against Iowa. Him against Decory Moore, I would assume that, and that's another fun matchup on the outside. All the stuff you mentioned about the teams and the scoring, they're great. Both of these teams statistically are up there in everything. Explosives, limiting explosives, all that sort of stuff. So which quarterback do you trust being comfortable, being uncomfortable?
And you know what? The question is, I trust both of them. Because I saw it with Mendoza against Iowa, because I saw that dude get knocked in the mouth, repeatedly, get hit over and over again. And he delivered when his freaking team needed it. It was awesome. It was really fun to watch a dude just take some adversity, because he was the Heisman Trophy front runner at that point. To take some adversity, to deliver when his team needed the most. I learned something about him. I think that's really, really good. And Dante Moore did it against Penn State as well. So here's what I'll say about that. Here's what I think. What I think is, when you go on the road across the country, I think the home team's defense is going to be better. I think your offensive line is a little bit worse. I think their pass rush that absolutely harassed Drew Aller and company becomes more of a difference maker. Your offensive line plays better at home. They do. It's quieter. It's easier to communicate. The snap counts can be variance. And I think Dante Moore's got a little bit more wiggle, a little bit more speed,
playmaking,
a little bit more ability to make you miss and make an extra play. So I'm going with the home team. I'm going with Oregon because of that, because I think Dante's more, and I think Oregon's speed is a little bit better than Indiana's. I think Indiana's going to try them. They're going to test them. It's going to be a little bit of a back and forth. But you know me, man. I love the home team. It's hard to go against the home team unless I really feel like you can handle that adversity, handle that environment at an elite level, and you're just a notch above every position.
Yeah, I agree. And the reason I asked the question about the uncomfortable piece too is I went and looked. These guys have combined for only 33 dropbacks of third and long, plays of third and long, 3rd and 7+. And I think you're going to see a lot more of that in this game where these quarterbacks have to deal with 3rd and 7+. So I got the home team as well. Ducks, quack, whatever. What's the thing?
Quack, quack, Mr. Ducksworth. Yeah. Quack, 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 Mr. Ducksworth. If you don't know that movie reference, what are you doing? Like, come on.
Heartburn games. Good are going to look good, taste good. A whole lot of stress, indigestion. First and foremost, Alabama coming off another win off a previously unbeaten team, going to now face another unbeaten team at Missouri in Como. Tennessee next week for Bama too. Like, it doesn't get any easier for them. Like, it's the nature of the beast in the SEC.
Yeah, I tell you what, if you're an Alabama fan, you got to be like, man, Vandy was averaging almost 50 points a game. You hold him to 14. Like, you got to be excited that you saw a pulse on that side of the football game, because to start that game, I'm like, Vandy goes right down the field twice, and I'm like, holy cow, Alabama's defense it's broken. Like, we've got to find a way to fix this. And then all of a sudden, they did fix it. And you know what? It's interesting, man. Kalen DeBoer versus ranked opponents has been really, really good. Like, he's 17-3, and that's unbelievable. But he's 5-1 at Alabama. It's not like it was all at Washington. And so I think Alabama, I think Jam Miller coming back has given them a little bit of an identity on offense. Like, they feel better. They feel more complete. Obviously, Ty Simpson continuing to morph before our eyes and get better and make plays. Like, I don't care what the odds are. We could do this on the show at some point, but I'm sure the odds are Dante Moore very near the top of the list for the Heisman. I'm sure Jeremiah Smith is up there. Like, wherever Ty Simpson's at, like, he's showing you those splash plays, those wow plays. He's going to have plenty more opportunities to do it, continue to do it as well. But, like, the dude is balling. And so, Missouri, yeah, they're going to have their hands full stopping that guy, because Jam Miller providing that 1-2 punch now. This offense, I think, is going to be better than we've seen it at any point this season. It's going to continue to grow and grow and grow and get better.
And they've got right tackle, true freshman, Michael Carroll, 64, that's playing more and more each week and playing well for them. And so that Simpson you talked about, he's second in the Power 4 in passing grade ever since, if you take away week 1. He's still up there baller, if you add week 1, but he's basically at the top without that. But the question for me with this game is, we talked about this on Monday. One is, can they stop Ahmad Hardy? Can they limit the explosives? Because it's something that Alabama has given up a lot of explosives in the run game.
Yeah.
But then also, can Missouri do to them what Florida State did and pressure Simpson on 40+% of his dropbacks, and where he was 3 of 14, I think, in that game, sacked 3 times, because Missouri has Damon Wilson, former Georgia edge defender, and then Zion Young, who last year was at Missouri, but previous to that was at Michigan State, who combined for 43 pressures and 5 sacks. They're going to get after it. And can they do that? I think they'll do it to a little bit, for maybe not the whole game, but they're going to get after Simpson.
Yeah, and then I think it spins to the other side of the football then. Like, Missouri in that offense, Bo Prabula started off obviously red hot. We were talking about how great he was, how good this offense looked. Ahmad Hardy, we've made it very clear where we stand on him. He's the best back in the country I've seen this season. If you take away preconceived notions of before the season and what everybody's done, and you just watch what they've done this season, Ahmad Hardy, a TD rush in all 5 games, 100 plus rush yards in all 5 games. Like, he's been so good. Kevin Coleman's become the go-to guy. He leads he leads their team in receptions. He's been fun to watch. He hasn't had a lot of TDs, but like you talked about, what we've talked about with this offense, I think the biggest difference in this offense, and the reason Bo Perbula's gotten off track, I think they've done a really good job understanding what you want to do, what they want to do, because Missouri does such a great job with crossers. Like, they're so good at, like, they do the zone blocking scheme, and they got one guy, they got a sniffer going the other direction, and so much motion and shifting. And I think a lot of times it's like, okay, screw the man-to-man. Like, let's play him zone. And Alabama likes to do that. Like, Alabama likes to play zone. Alabama will sit back. Here's the difference to me in this game. The difference in this game, and Cal, I've had to talk myself into this, and I'm not sure it's a good thing or not. I think Bo Perbula is going to have to run the football more than he has at any point in the season. And he's going to have to be a big part of the run game. Hardy's going to be a problem. You saw Alabama struggle with Pavia running the football. Alabama, another week having to get up, going to Missouri. Like, Missouri's rested. Missouri's ready to rock and roll. I got the Tigers. And I know it's crazy. I know it sounds stupid probably, but I'm going to go with them at home to make enough plays. The offense has been humming at 40, 45 points a game. I think they make enough plays. They get her done at home and pull the upset against Alabama.
I was actually shocked you went there. I'm legitimately shocked that you went there. And what's funny is in my notes, I wrote so many things make me want to pick Missouri.
But you're not going to.
But it's hard to bet against Ty Simpson right now.
It is.
That was my only holdup. Is he's playing so well. I went Alabama 30-24. Yep. It was hard to. I wanted to pick Missouri, but I just couldn't do it. All right, next heartburn game is we've got Oklahoma versus Texas.
Man,
Red River rivalry. Is that
whatever?
Is that
like Red River shootout? You're not supposed to call it the shootout anymore, but I don't really give a crap. We don't have to follow anybody's rules anymore. I'm not on television where I have to listen to anybody. But it's and it's like we're going world's largest cocktail party too, because we don't have to listen to that. This game's kind of lost a little bit of its luster, I would say, like, because obviously Texas falling down, and I feel like we haven't heard from Oklahoma in a while because John Mateer's not there. So, like, it's kind of and they had a bye week and they played Kent State. So it's kind of, people forget how good Oklahoma is. The Sooners have won 5 of the last 6 and 17 of the last 25. So, like, they've done a good job in this series. Like, they've been really, really good. Like, Texas has the edge, but Oklahoma, they found now. I know the schedule and what it was coming into the SEC. Oklahoma, it was slanted. It was really hard. Texas got a break. We talked about that on the show the other day, right? Like, Texas played one ranked opponent a year ago. It was Georgia, and they lost to them twice. Oklahoma played everybody ranked, and it was really, really tough. But
yes,
they're second in the FBS in points allowed per game. Like, just what did our boy Venables say? He was like, you know what? I'm going to take over the defense. Why? Because I'm good at it. And they have been all over the place, sacking quarterbacks left and right, forcing fumbles, just making play after play after play. And so it's been fun to watch this defense. And obviously against a Texas offense, Brent, I would love for you to sell me. Like, sell me on when they dropped back last week, they were pressured on like 60% of dropbacks against Florida, who hasn't been pressuring the quarterback that much. So I'd love for you to sell me of how Texas is going to move the football in this game.
I don't
I'm open
really I don't really have a pitch. I don't have a pamphlet that I can give you or a flyer. I don't have anything that I can go to outside of maybe just blind luck one day, because it's been a struggle bus for the Horns. And even think back to last year. They didn't really play that well offensively in this game last year. It's just that Oklahoma kept giving them the ball and or giving them short fields, all those sort of things. Ewers had a 54.5 passing grade in this game last year. Like, he struggled mightily in this game. So I think this is a 1st to 20 game. And I also don't think Mateer is going to play.
No.
Unless he's like Rev from Remember the Titans, where he comes in at the end and gives makes one play, the blast with the reverse or whatever Denzel play call was.
Whatever it takes.
But yeah, unless it's that, I don't think Mateer plays. I know there was a report that it's trending in that direction. I don't think they do that. I don't think he plays. I think they're play the long game here. You
got any faith, and this is what you've got to go. Like, listen, the hard part is that there's always narratives, and the narratives, go a direction, which usually correlates with how ticked off a team is. Like the narrative of Texas stinking, a lot of times will put fuel in the fire. A lot of times there's all kinds of things that go into it with bye weeks and just, who has motivation, who's been playing a bunch of games. Oklahoma played Kent State. They're well rested. Florida's licking their wounds from what happened.
Texas,
excuse me, what happened against Florida. But it's kind of like how I couldn't pick Florida a week ago and I was completely wrong and we were wrong. Like I haven't seen enough. Like how does Texas explode? Like they can't run the football. They're not throwing it great. They can't protect their quarterback. Like is it special teams that happens? Like, because I tell you what, man, it's fun to watch Oklahoma's defense because they do not sit back and let you get comfortable at any point in your life. Like it is literally, if you're breathing, they're going to pressure you. And they're like a boa constrictor. They're just going to squeeze the life out of you. Does that lead to a few big plays for Texas? Does Oklahoma get over aggressive? And maybe that helps Texas dial some things up. But I got to go Oklahoma with a backup quarterback, which is the craziest thing I've ever said in my life. But Oklahoma's offensive line is nothing great either. If you watched Kent State, their offensive line was not moving people off the ball. Like their quarterback play was not great. Like you can look at numbers if you want to too as well. And I think that, listen, Michael Hawkins Jr. is not. He's not the guy he was a year ago, okay? I'm going to give you that. He's not that guy. He's not as bad as he was a year ago because Arbuckle's system is better. They'll create more space. His running game will be huge. Oklahoma's running game will be huge. Can Blaylock get going? Like, he averaged over 5 yards a carry last week. That's, like, big time. Like, because it was 1 yard a carry versus Auburn. Can they get somewhere in the middle of that? Because can they get on the edges? Can they use the QB run game? I think they do enough, and I think Oklahoma finds a way to win a sloppy game. But I don't think it. Like you said, I don't think it's going to be pretty. I don't think it's going to be high scoring.
Texas is still favored. Actually,
I'm not surprised by that.
1.5 point favorite.
If you put John Mateer in there, that would flip in a heartbeat. Obviously.
So I think I saw where that was. Assuming he plays, that's the number. And if he wasn't playing, it'd go up to like 4 or 5.5, something like that. But you talked about pressure. They're fifth in blitz percentage, Oklahoma is, in the Power Four. And Arch has been pressured on over 50% of his dropbacks when he's been blitzed. Yeah. Like you're not going to fix blocking and the ability to block people just instantly overnight, especially against a team like Oklahoma. And to answer your earlier question, is it a special teams touchdown? Is it a defensive touchdown that maybe gets Texas confidence and mojo rolling? I don't. I think it's going to be run centric, and I think defensive struggle first to 20, and I got Oklahoma 20, Texas 17.
I got Oklahoma as well, but here's one thing to keep in mind about Oklahoma's defense, and you can take this wherever you want to. Like obviously creating negative plays, creating sacks, being aggressive. They have 8 fumble recoveries already. That's also luck. Yes. Like you can spin that however you want. That's luck. That is the ball bouncing your way. And remember, it's an odd shaped football. Okay. Like it bounces in weird ways and it hits the turf and sometimes you get lucky. Like those things don't typically, those don't continue.
They regress to the mean. Let me give you the statistical words for that.
They'll come back to the mean. Yes. How about that? So I think that, that won't continue, but Florida won a bunch of individual battles up front against Texas, like a ton of D tackle versus center, D tackle versus guard. You don't think Stone and company are going to win a bunch of one-on-one battles? And R. Mason Thomas and company on the outside. I'll take Oklahoma as well.
All right. Next up, Ohio State, the number one ranked team, not the C-ball, get ball ranked number one ranked team, but the number one ranked team in the AP at Illinois. Do you remember the last time these two played? They're in the same conference, and they have always been, to my recollection, in the same conference. You got to go back to 2017.
Wow.
is the last time they played. They were supposed to play in 2020, but it got canceled because of COVID. The last time they played at Illinois was 2015, so a decade. Ryan Day's never coached against them.
That's weird.
Like, that's just amazing when you think about.
Well, and that's conference expansion, and conferences getting so much bigger. Like, you're going to have that naturally, obviously. But
yeah, we talk all the time about Georgia hasn't played at Texas A&M yet, even though they've been there for 14 years. But Illinois playing a number one team. You think back to last year, they got a chance to play the number one team at that time, and they went out to Oregon and got absolutely boat raced. So it didn't go so well for them last time. Altmaier's playing really well, playing at an elite level. Hank Beatty is making all kinds of plays. But my question, the notes on this game is, how does Illinois win? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Because then I was all right, so is he going to turn the ball over? Sayan has 0 INTs against Power 4 teams.
Yeah.
Running game, Ohio State's allowing like 90 yards.
Why do you do 0 INT versus Power 4 teams? Like, it doesn't count in the other games?
Because he's just
sounds better.
Games. He's taking care of the football in the good games. He's chucking it in the other games.
Okay.
OSU, if you get him in 3rd and long, he's 90% completion, 3rd and long. This feels like a Cignetti versus Ohio State last year. Keep it close. As long as you can, possibly keep it close.
I don't know how they do, though, is the thing. Like, if I watched Illinois against USC, I love what they did. They ran the ball right at them. That was the way they had balance, which protected their offensive line, which cannot protect, which is what the struggle was against Indiana. It's what the struggle was against Duke. Like, they have to have balance. They're not going to run the football in Ohio State. They're not going to run the football in this defense. Like, let me give you, I'd love to Altmaier you to death. And he has 12 TD passes, and that's tied for the most in the nation with 0 interceptions. And Hank Beatty, like you said, he's got 2 receiving TDs. He's got a rushing TD. He's got a passing TD. He's got a punt return TD. Like, Awesome. Great stuff. They got the running game going with the big fella, like last time out against USC. That's awesome. This ain't USC's defense.
There are levels.
There's levels to this, and I think this is going to be a rough outing for Illinois. I don't know how they keep it close. I really don't, because
they need to, though, because their schedule sets up to where they could finish 10-2 and have that USC win and say, "Hey, look, we're 10-2 in the Big Ten. We beat Duke, who I think Duke's going to end up with a really solid record."
Well,
like, those things, like they need this game to not be a destruction.
So
for Ohio State to kind of play with their food a little bit.
And here's how you do that if you're Altmaier. Altmaier does a really good job of getting the football out. He makes quick decisions. So can they get the ball on the perimeter? Can they get the RPO game going? Can he against one of the best secondary probably in the country? That's the problem. Like, who's going to separate on the outside for Illinois? Can they get some big plays? Can they do what Washington did and, force a turnover on a punt? And Washington had the ball for 11 minutes in the first quarter. Like, that's a good recipe. Can they do that? No, they can't. Like, I don't see a world where Illinois can win this football game. I really don't, man. Like,
I got 34-13 was what I wrote, was what I typed out. I don't know. That's wishful thinking, I think, mainly because Ohio State's, I don't think he's going to put the foot on the gas and make this a complete destruction. I don't think Ryan Day's all about that life right now.
If you're not watching Ohio State, like Bo Jackson, not the other Bo Jackson, this Bo Jackson, he's providing balance because he's a freshman that's really, really elite, man. Like, he's done a great job. Donaldson's physical, and he's gonna punch in touchdowns. But like they're not gonna let you run the football, which means they can now pin their ears back and get after you. It's a dominant team, man. It's a bad matchup. It's a team that does not have a lot of balance on offense, and if you don't have a lot of balance on offense, you're going to get bounced, and you're going to get bounced quickly. I don't know how they keep it close. I think Ohio State continues to dominate.
Next one, heartburn game. I think actually a lot of Georgia fans are probably feeling heartburn this week about this game and not just overly confident.
They should.
But Georgia goes to Auburn. Do we see a new offense post-bye week for Auburn like we did for Florida last week? A lot more new confidence, new feeling good about themselves, find themselves in the bye week.
Yeah, and Wes talked about it earlier in one of the pods. He talked about like four teams have a bye before Georgia. Like, and this is one of them. So a couple weeks to prepare. Jackson Arnold, here's the key to me. Jackson Arnold and Auburn are a few plays away from being undefeated and having a really good resume and everybody talking good about them. Now, they haven't been able to protect their quarterback. Well, good news. Georgia hasn't been able to get to the quarterback. So
at all.
and you're playing at home, which makes your guys a little bit better. It's one of the better atmospheres.
At night.
Everybody knows. It's crazy. It's crazy. I think it's going to be an orange out too, which is, obviously cool. I add more to it. But this is a scary game for Georgia. And I say that too because Auburn's run defense is really good. Like when I've watched them this season, it wasn't just Oklahoma. It's everybody that they've played. It's A&M. Like they're very physical up front. They do a great job of tackling. They do a great job of, making sure that you're not going to run the football, and they don't give up gaps and they don't give up big plays. And so that's what Georgia does best. Like Georgia's best thing and how did Baylor attack Auburn? Through the air? Right? Like they gave up big passing play. Can Georgia make those big passing plays? Because I think a lot of us still wonder if that's something that can happen. So styles make fights, matchup makes fights. Don't just if you look at the record and you just think Auburn's not ranked and they're not very good, like I would caution you in this football game. This is going to be to me, this is a pick'em football game. So I'll be interested to hear too about what you think the keys are, and Auburn at home at night is a different animal as well.
So Jackson Arnold, for me, you mentioned him. He had 72 yards on design runs in the first game at Baylor. He's only had 54 since. They haven't really he's got a lot of attempts from just scrambling and keeping the ball forever, but in the true design run game, and that has given Kirby Smart's defense fits in the past. So that's one thing. Secondarily is which team can take advantage of the other secondary, because I think both of these teams have really good receivers, and both of these teams aren't the greatest in the secondary. So how do you do things personnel-wise to create that? I think Auburn's going to play a lot more 12 personnel with two tight ends to try to force Georgia into kind of its base defense and run game and try to get those one-on-one matchups. And this is one of those games where it's much like a youth football league game where you can play defense great for 3/4 of the game, and the freak show on the other side just makes 3 plays and scores 3 touchdowns that you can't stop. Like that's one
freak show you're talking about.
Yes, like that's the maybe you play great defense, you make Arnold struggle, but they hit 2 bombs because number 8 just makes 2 great plays. In the end, I think that's the Jackson Arnold struggling piece is the piece that it will probably likely play out. But if they have success early and starting fast is not really Georgia's thing, and he's playing with confidence and that place is rocking, it's Tennessee all over again, and you got to pray for a comeback like they got against Tennessee. The
starting fast thing has to be fixed. Like it has to be fixed. Like it's got to go away for Georgia. We've documented it, man. Like it's been against a Power 4 team. It was like October 16th last year. Was the last time they've led against a Power 4 team. That's bullcrap.
I mean, they did it against Kentucky, but Kentucky's
until Kentucky, yes. But like you've got to get that fixed. Georgia fans, you should look at Auburn and go, hey, Auburn has 16 sacks by 9 different players. That's kind of cool. Like that's really cool. They can rush the passer. Georgia hasn't been able to. Now, their defense is really good at stopping the run. Really good. And that's what I think you take away is like, can you stop the run, get him in passing situations, and then get him off the field? Now, Jackson Arnold is very predictable. He's going to hold on to the football too long, so you will have time to continue to rush the passer. You got to continue to rush. You can't stop. Like you can't pull a Chris Jones on Monday Night Football. You can't just stop. Like you got to keep competing and going. Interested to see Gunnar Stockton too. Last time we saw him on the road, it worked out okay. He was pretty freaking good. And I think they're starting to figure out who he is. I think Chauncey Bowens is fully established himself as the man. And I think Georgia's run game is better than Auburn's. And I think they'll have a chance to get that going. Like it was good to see Dylan Bell going. And now you're talking about like the ability to attack backside with some of the reverse stuff that he's able to do, the jet sweeps, getting him the football. I feel like Georgia's and finds a way to win. And another thing too about unfortunately, this is not a good stat, Auburn fans. I apologize, but Hugh Freeze is 2-8 in games decided by 7 points or fewer. And they've typically just kind of found a way to not get it done.
Especially against Georgia.
Yeah, and Georgia finds a way to get it done. So Chauncey Bowens, Dylan Bell continues, and quietly C.J. Allen continues to be one of the better players in the country, by the way, running all over the field, tackling people. Georgia forces a turnover. They play their best game defensively. So they have 4 sacks now, or they have 5? I think they have 4 or 5 coming in this game.
It's right around there. Yes.
Yes.
Not many. I know it's definitely single digits.
I'm taking them to get 4 this game. So they will almost double their output this game. They'll get to the quarterback. They can play a little bit more aggressively because of Jackson Arnold. You better take away 8, and you better take away Singleton Jr. But I'll take Georgia.
That's what it's one of those, I don't feel overly confident about it. This is going into the season, the one game for me that I was like, this game is going to be an absolute, but I went Georgia 24, Auburn 20 because of the trust factor with the QB and the coach and all the things, all the external things that we've seen time and time again.
And I think we're going to say that about every Georgia game from here on out. Like, I think we're going to go like 27-21, 24-21 because
every game,
because they can possess the football the way they run it. And that's where like Gunnar Stockton's ability, like they're using him really well, man. Like they're doing a good job of spreading the formation and using his ability to run the football to get people out of the box, make you play the screen game. Like it's really good stuff. And I think their line is getting more and more experience. You got 2 freshmen up there, man, that are getting a lot of reps.
Really
they're
good too.
They're good players, and they'll continue to. And Freeman, I don't think his injury is as bad as we thought it was, and I think he'll play at left tackle. And so, yeah, I listen. It's not too confident, but I'll take Georgia as well.
Yeah, the confidence level is very, very low on that one. Big Ten matchup. I think this is a playoff game. Michigan at Southern Cal. USC is a 2.5-point favorite. We talked about Michigan's struggles with drops on Monday.
USC's a favorite?
Yeah.
Wow.
2.5-point favorite. Okay. Last I looked, at least. I'll look again to be sure.
I'm just kind of surprised.
Yeah, SC 2.5-point favorite.
Okay.
Being home. Okay. Can they protect Maava? Barham and Moore on the edge for Michigan. The single-digit numbers, like when you get those single-digit number guys on the edge.
But can you say that can either quarterback protect their guy? Like, Michigan has not done a good job of protecting their guy. Now Underwood is more fleet of foot, and I think the offense is designed to use him a little bit more. I'm not saying Maava can't run, but it's Underwood's better at it. Like, and they're going to use him in the run game. And here's the thing: Illinois ran straight at the defensive tackles at USC. Michigan can do that. Michigan can get in the gun and go straight downhill. Like USC struggled in pass coverage like crazy against Illinois. Illinois looked like they were one of the best passing attacks to ever walk the face of the earth. Like I'm not buying USC's defense. I'm not. Listen, I get it. They had food poisoning and they had guys that were out. So this could be a good game to prove us wrong and jump right back in the mix because they got firepower. Like they've got freaking firepower and they can score. And I think the balance they have can give you problems because they can run the football. They can throw it. They got guys that can beat you. Even if you are covered, like if you are covered, Lemon's still one of the better players in the country. Like Lane is enormous. He is huge and can make contested catches. If you haven't seen Wayman Jordan at running back, I love that cat. Like he's got that daggum. Wayman Jordan has, He's got the vibes from like old school Michigan State running back. You know what I'm talking about? Le'Veon Bell. Like he does such a good job, Wayman Jordan. If you watch him, man, like setting up blocks, explodes all of a sudden. So if they can create some balance against Michigan and if they can protect and block up front, because USC, the biggest thing, another thing with Illinois, they got banged up, man, losing your center, being down a tackle already. So like they've kind of had to play some different guys and Michigan's got some motherfreaking ace kickers, like always. Like they just won't ace up front and they continue to pressure you and never let you get comfortable. So I think the the weakness on weakness, right? Like USC's weakness on Michigan's weakness is their offense. The strength is the defense and the offense of USC and the defense for Michigan. On the road, it's not a road atmosphere. This is not an atmosphere that's going to put fear in the hearts of Michigan fans. Michigan won this game and squeaked it out a year ago. Remember on that 2-minute drill where they ran the football and made big plays. Mullings makes huge plays down the stretch somehow. I think this has got Michigan written all over it. I think Michigan's going to win. I think they can affect the other quarterback big time. I think Michigan, because they're quarterback and the way they can run the football and spread it out, I think they'll make more big plays. But I do think this will be a fun, entertaining game to watch for sure. Like you're gonna be on the seat of your pants the whole time. Like this will be fun on both sides.
Run that by me again.
It'll be fun when both sides have the ball.
No, the previous part. I'm gonna be on the what?
Edge of your seats. What did I say?
Seat of my pants, I think is what you said.
Yeah, on the seat of your pants, which
Yes.
means you're like on the seat of your pants. You're sitting up so much. It's so awesome. So fantastic.
The bye week, I think, is big for them. The center that's replacing their starter played like over 1,500 snaps at Syracuse, so it's an experienced guy at least. The Lemon piece, Mekhi Lemon, they do such a great job of moving him around. I went and rewatched kind of the Illinois game with some of
Put
that.
him in the slot, throw the slot fades. I mean, they'll put him everywhere.
Out wide, almost equals the slot. Right and left, almost equal a little bit, like everywhere. So I'm going offense in this game, and I'm going the home team. I'm going USC 30, Michigan 27.
Yeah, I think you can't say home team and say that it's going to make a difference, though. Like, there's a lot of home field advantages that make a big difference.
That's Michigan. I mean, maybe you show up and okay. We'll move.
Is that
we'll move
USC?
on. I know, but they're playing Michigan. It's a big.
So you're saying Michigan fans will have the home field advantage, probably?
No,
that's actually accurate.
I don't think so.
No, you're accurate.
I don't think so.
There'll be more Michigan fans than USC. We'll get a picture.
I disagree. We something's brewing with USC. We did that. They're going to show out.
All right, show up.
Some chips and dips games. Not the marquee, but fired up to dig into it. First one is Florida, resurgent Florida, life found Florida at Texas A&M. And preparing for the Georgia-Auburn game, because I obviously work for the Georgia website, but watching Texas A&M's defense, wow. Like, just wow.
Now, you wouldn't have said that 4 weeks ago. Like that was if you heard everybody talk in the beginning of the season, it was like, whoa, their offense is scoring a lot of points, but their defense is giving up points like crazy.
They're getting better every week, and they
getting better.
It's speed and flying around. Like, some of these guys on the tier, some of them are taking leaps, but you got the guy Dan Hayes, 50, that last year was at Colorado. He had a big year 2 years ago at Pitt, and is now playing well. 11 on the interior is an Iowa State transfer. Like, I just the depth they have on the defensive line and the way it looks, and York is just a stud at linebacker.
York's a baller. He's one of the guys that doesn't get talked about enough. Like he's so instinctive. Like he's a guy that feels the game so well. Like I don't know that he's a freak, but you watch 21, he's always around the football. Like he's always around the football. Just sees screens, feels it, like will rush the passer and get to the quarterback. He's not in the wrong spot. And then Elko on third down is just a masterful masterclass of a genius. Like it's really fun to watch him dial up crazy things. Like there's a lot of teams that are in college football that could really use some pass rush. They could use some help. They could use some disguise. There's nobody better than Mike Elko. There's nobody better. Like there's nobody better with simulated pressures and dropping guys out and showing one thing, doing another. And so I think the question is, can they physically meet the task of Jaden Ball and company? And can Florida run the football? Like, is that something that Florida can get established? That's how they started off last week. Like the tone was set on the first drive, and Florida didn't run the football great after the first drive. They didn't run it at an elite level by any stretch, but they started that thing off absolutely right. Pounding the rock, getting their quarterback settled, getting Jaden Ball the football. And then what we learned slowly throughout the game is that Florida's had this trump card that they haven't been able to play. And his name's Dallas. And he's a grown ace man out on the outside. Like, that don't look like no freshman. So if they can get the balance on A&M and not get predictable. They get predictable, Katie bar the door, bro. It's a wrap. Like, you are not going to protect against A&M and what they can do. So can they have another inspiring performance, Florida, and can they be physical and have energy? This one ain't at home, homie. This is not in your backyard that you can feel the juice. You can ride the juice that can help you get you going and help that pass rush. This one's at Kyle Field. This will be a different animal.
Yeah, and you talk about Jaden Ball. That was the most carries he had in a game in his career. 27.
We were begging.
22 was his previous high, and he had. You know how many he had in this game last year? Because this was early in the season. If you remember, this was early in the season. March started the game, I think. In this,
my guess would be
29. He had one carry in this. Oh. Jaden Ball had one carry in this game last year.
Maybe did he get 29 yards?
I think he got like 5.
Oh, dang it!
And Dallas Wilson, he's 4th in the receiving yards on their team after one game. That's pretty good.
That dude does not look like a freshman. His body, he's 6'3", like 215, can run, and like just throwing people off of him, like so
Julio-esque. Or is that Julio Jones-esque? Not yet, maybe getting there.
I mean, whatever it was special.
Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah,
like one B to Jeremiah Smith. One C.
I'm not ready for that yet. I'm going to need physically to see a little bit more. But Will Lee is one of the better corners in the country, like with A&M, and he'll get plenty of him. And if you can go do it against an elite corner, that will show you more. But I know one thing: they got their go-to guy. That I know. Like, that's beyond a shadow of a doubt. I know that Florida has a guy that they can depend on because LSU, don't forget, 0 for 13 on third down. Like, 7 for 14 against Texas. Like, it was very, very night and day, very different.
This is going to be one of those football games that is just, like, hard hitting the entirety of the game. Like, just one of the more physical games, I think, of the weekend. I got the home team, Aggies, 27-20.
I got the home team too. But first time they've started 5-0 since 2016. So Aggies
I would borderline put a playoff spot, like first. I'd put the T in Penn if they take care of this business in this game. I like the rest of their schedule.
Yeah, they had a season high last week too of 299 rushing, and that to me will be the evolution of like stopping the run early in the season. Was a problem for them, and they started to fix that on defense. Running the football was kind of an issue. Now they're starting to fix that. So they're tweaking themselves, getting better. 6th in the nation in sacks per game and almost 4 per game. 11 different players have a sack. Like, that's Mike Elko. Yeah, and Cassius Howell's an absolute freak show. Like, he's a Freaky Friday. Watch number 9 coming off the edge.
Yes, last chips and dip game, Arizona State at Utah. I think this is also a playoff game because of Cincinnati and their schedule in the Big 12. Arizona State is +5 in the turnover margin in the last 2 games, and they've won by 6 points. I think their luck runs out on the road here.
At Utah.
I think this is the Utah Utes winning this game.
Who's the favorite?
Utah's 6.5 point favorite.
Yeah, I see it too. And I just haven't seen Arizona State be Arizona State from a year ago. And I'm watching 44 for the Giants, and you see he's pretty good. Like, that dude's an absolutely freak show of an animal. He was a tone setter, right? Like, he was the bell cow, and I think they're missing that. But I think Utah will have that with Dampier, and they'll be able to run the football. They'll be able to have a little bit of balance. Their defense will be super aggressive, make enough plays at home, even though we've seen them lose to Texas Tech, which was still a week that I was like, what the heck happened? But I'll go with the Utes as well. We got to hurry this up, man. We're football nerding out over here. We're already 45 minutes into this.
I got one question for these next 2 games. So the veggie tray games might skip, but they're actually going to be kind of some good games, 2 SEC games. South Carolina, LSU. Does LSU's offense show signs of life? I saw where Nussmeier did not throw at all during the bye week because he had some.
That might be good.
An abdominal strain. Yeah, that was an issue. So he took a week off. Do you think they self-evaluate and show some signs of life here?
Golly, man. When you watch LSU, the only they've got so many weapons that you watch out wide that you're like, they can win. They should be able to win. So, yeah, they should be able to self-evaluate. They'll always be able to ride their defense, which is fun. Like, it's fun to have one side of the ball that's always going to be dominant. So, yeah, they find a way with ever who's at quarterback. I think they still find a way to get it done. And I think South Carolina is going to struggle against this defense. Like, last year, they gave up everything. It was big play ad nauseum. So I'm interested to watch this defense versus Lenore Sellers, who's starting to do this, by the way. Like last year, starting to trend up a little bit too. Let's watch Mr. Respect the Specs and see if he continues to pick his game up.
Night game in Death Valley too. That's always a fun thing.
That's a good recipe to win.
I got LSU. Arkansas at Tennessee. Does the completely different coaching staff make any difference for the Hogs?
Man, if their defense gets way better after firing their defensive line coach, their defensive coordinator, and their co-defensive coordinator, like, how does that happen? Like, I don't see how that happens.
What do you teach in that regard? Do you say, all right, we're just going to run 4-man down, play man sometime, everybody will play quarters the other time, and you guys go sack the quarterback?
Well, and then you play an offense, and then you're playing an offense at Tennessee in Heupel, who's the master of fast and the master of go, go, go. Like, I don't see that defense all of a sudden responding. Now, I can see the offense making plays because Taylor Green's a big, strong dude that makes plays and they score points. But give me Rocky Top as they continue to win and kind of, hey, and they continue to win and like, nothing to see over here. Like, nothing to see.
We're just kind of hanging out. We'll creep up in the rankings. We'll creep up one.
Just remember, we lost early. Nothing to see. We're not very good. I'm being facetious, Rocky Top fans. I'm saying that's a good thing. Like, nobody's talking. You don't have to worry about it. Just keep winning.
That's a big word. Notre Dame hosting NC State and Hollywood Smothers running the ball for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, what a great name! What a all world name team. He's from Oklahoma, didn't he? Transfer from Oklahoma.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
And I know he was a transfer, but this is a 21.5 point spread.
Yeah. Can
NC State cover that, or do you think Notre Dame takes care of business because they've kind of been rolling offensively?
Well, I think we got to point to their defense too, though, homie G. That to me is the difference. 2 weeks.
2 weeks in a row, I guess.
Yes.
Right. Arkansas
played
well against Arkansas.
Yes, like they're starting to get that side of the football together. Nobody's doubting CJ Carr. Nobody's doubting Price and Love and what they are starting to develop. Yes, Fields and Faison. Like they're freaking good on that side of the football. I believe in them on that side. The defense is coming along for the Irish. And listen, last year it took them some time to figure it out. Like, but I think they're going to continue to do what they're supposed to do. This is one of their tougher games on the way in. I know that sounds weird, but it really is. Like, there's not many. They got SC for sure at home, and that will be, one of the tougher ones. But I think Notre Dame keeps it rolling. But let's keep watching their defense, man, because that's the side of the football. If it gets back, because it's not like they were that far off with Miami. Like, they got the offense rolling a little bit, made some big plays, got some stops, got back in the game. Shocker, Miami got conservative. We've never seen that before. But, like, I think that, Notre Dame has a chance to do what they did a year ago. Fly under the radar, continue to win, be great towards the end of the season, and know exactly who you are.
Three games that are there. I'm just going to mention them. I think Texas Tech handles Kansas. That is still a kind of big game because Kansas could be 6-0, really close to being 6-0. I think Arizona. I think
Texas Tech's defense will also get a challenge. Like, that's probably the best offense that they've played. So can they rush the quarterback and keep him, because he can throw it, he can make big plays. Like, it'll be fun to watch that front versus Jalen Daniels.
I think Arizona actually upsets BYU.
Do you?
Yep. The Bachmeier train, 47.
Just
throwing it well, running it well. He's got 228 yards, 5 TDs as the freshman QB.
Yeah.
But the other game that people need to watch, need to remember that is Friday night. South Florida at North Texas. Big time game in the G5.
Big time.
And if you haven't read about North Texas quarterback, Drew Mestamaker.
First of all, the name is all world. Like,
please go read about him.
That's fantastic.
He was a backup in high school. He didn't start a high school game at quarterback, and he walked on at North Texas. And now he's one of the best statistically one of the best quarterbacks in the country. And they're 5-0 at home. True Frosh, Caleb Hawkins running it.
We appreciate everything y'all do for us. Continue to rate, subscribe, do all the different stuff, man, that helps us continue to grow. And we'll see you guys at the next turn, because the fun thing about this is as the games continue and as we continue to get closer to all this, they all matter. So the cheering should continue to be loud. The cheering should follow those teams that are above you, cheer against them like heck so they can go behind you. Like, that's how you cheer now. Like, that's how you follow your squad. But thank y'all so much. See y'all. Peace.